Syrian forces have predicted complete victory over ISIS within days, as they uncovered a mass grave of decapitated bodies in the terror group's former territory. The Syrian Democratic Forces, a Kurdish-led militia backed by Washington, are on the brink of ejecting ISIS from its last holdout in Baghouz, near the Iraqi border. The SDF's commander-in-chief Maslam Kabani said in a video released today, "We will announce the complete victory over Daesh ISIS in a week." Today, footage emerged appearing to show a mass grave which was discovered a week ago and is still being excavated. It was not clear when the people had been killed, but many of them had been decapitated, according to the SDF. Syrian forces are seeking to confirm whether the bodies were those of Yazidis enslaved by ISIS, an SDF commander said. Thousands of members of the minority Yazidi sect from Iraq were forced into sexual slavery by IS when they surged across the border in 2014 and seized swathes of territory. Share this article. Share more than 3,000 other Yazidis were killed in an onslaught the United Nations later described as genocidal, which prompted the first U.S. air strikes against IS. Thousands more fled on foot and many remain displaced more than 4 years later. The SDF also announced on Thursday it had freed 24 of its fighters from the jihadist group. The operation to wipe out the last vestiges of ISIS's territorial control has been held up as the SDF seeks to evacuate thousands of civilians. The ISIS enclave at Baghouz, a tiny area on the eastern bank of the Euphrates River, is the last populated territory held by the jihadists. Though the fall of Baghouz will mark a milestone in the campaign against IS, the group is still seen as a security threat. They will use guerrilla tactics and still hold some territory in a remote area west of the Euphrates River. Some 40,000 people have crossed from the jihadists' diminishing territory in the last 3 months as the US-backed SDF sought to finish off the group. The numbers of people who are still pouring out of Baghouz have surpassed initial estimates. But Afrin said many of the people coming out of Baghouz had been underground in caves and tunnels. The SDF has said it wants to evacuate civilians inside Baghouz before storming it or forcing the surrender of the remaining jihadists, who the SDF has said are mostly foreigners. The US-led coalition said Baghouz had been more crowded with both civilians and fighters than expected. The overflow during the lull in battle has been difficult for the SDF, and they have responded to everything well, said Colonel Sean Ryan, the coalition spokesman.